economics. My first degree is in economics. I'm not claiming to be an economist. I'm not an expert in that. But I do know that value of the currency, of course, can be gotten through some real economic activities. But from what we are seeing these days, the dollar is up at 90 and then it is down 690. What happened? Is it that we have all of a sudden within 10 days carried out some, certain, miraculous economic activities to warrant, the crashing of the USD, and then we just realize that it's just about speculation. Majority of these, transactions on USDs that is happening, on the streets and among individuals are not for any economic reality. They are just using it as a means to store value. And that is why it can go up and that is why it can come down. And as a Nigerian, I wish, of course, let the dollar come down to what? To 200 Naira, so that at least we will not be, relying on imported goods, but rather to build our own economy here and then we'll move on, we'll take it on from there. And we believe with this issue of Naira redesign and with the good government policies that is being pushed, dollar is going to crash to 200 Naira, God willing. Issue that you raise, but it's minimal, it's negligible. When somebody writes an exams and he scored 98, 99, and then you are hammering on the 1%. Yes, that 1% is important because you are talking about individuals. And for issues of this nature that you have mentioned, we have been addressing them time and time again. We should have positive outlook and positive approach to these issues. As at the 4th of November, 2022, the EFCC have recorded 3,228 convictions in court. Half of these convictions is relating to cybercrime. It has never happened in the history of this country. So this is a huge problem that we have, in which our younger brothers, and sisters are engaged in this crime, that they are shouting that, yes, it is not Nigerians' money. So we have to work together and ensure that, look, we rid our country of this crime that is, tarnishing the image of our country, bringing in illegitimate funds and distorting the economic, flow of our country. And that is what we should be looking at. You understand? I'm not saying that we 100%, okay, we are human beings. As human beings, we are expected to make mistakes here and there. But we are learning by the day. And of course, we are here when we came here and the president launched our standard operation procedure. That is what is guiding us, going forward in the EFCC. And we are very proud of the achievement that we have made thus far. You understand? We should have positive outlook to some of these issues and calm the country down instead of talking about issues that are neither here nor there. People cannot even confirm, the reliability of this. And then you, the journalists, will now amplify only the negative things that are coming out of this, all-important job of fighting corruption in this country. All along. Of course, whenever we meet, I tend to tap from his knowledge of this country because he has been in the public space for close to 50 years. So he knows, the good, the bad, and the ugly of this country. And I'm very happy and opportune, to be having this kind of meetings with him, in which I'm being guided on so many things that I need to know as a young man, growing up in public life in this country.
What brought you to the village?
It's an amazing job. I thought I'm going to, serve for 35 years and retire at 59. The president decided otherwise. I now reached the pinnacle of my career at a very younger age of 40 years. And God willing, I will continue to serve my country in the best possible way until I leave the job. So the job is good. We are working to, contribute our quota towards the development of our country, and I think that is the most important thing. If you have followed the issue, very well, an allegation was made against a retired, whether he was serving then, a military officer, that he collected bribery of a vehicle and money, and he was charged to court by the EFCC. And at the end of the case, he was discharged and acquitted. Why? Because the giver of the bribery, we couldn't get him to come and testify. That is the information that I have gotten. And then, of course, he was asked to, be given his, items, that are with him, which the EFCC have appealed, no matter, of course, they file in the contempt long before I'm the chairman. And if it is an issue of a contempt, it's a quasi criminal matter, there are some forms that you have to unveil the veil of the corporation and serve the individual that is being charged with contempt. And from the records, that has not been done, and it has to be an individual, not the seat that I'm occupying. And these are issues that have been on before I become the chairman. And when I came on board, I reviewed it. I approved that let the vehicle and the monies be released to him, subject to the determination of it is in compliance with what we have been pushing, to allow the rule of law, to take its course. And in June of this year, the car was released. We have started the process of releasing the funds when we got the judgment, which of course we are all surprised about, but we are able to go back to the court, and the court have seen reason to us and has completely reversed that earlier decision. So that is where we are now. And I think it is clarified we have to do based on the informed and credible intelligence that we have gathered.
So in your own estimation, what's the result of that data?
The result, was a very successful one, and we are analyzing the facts that we have gathered, and we'll continue to do that, until, of course, the information is otherwise.
What do you mean by successful?
Successful in the sense that we got an intel that says that there is this, and then we went for it, and then we realized that yes, it is true, and then of course, based on our mandate of fighting crime, we realized that yes, the funds and intel is leading towards that, and that is why it is successful.
So recoveries were made? Of
course, recoveries were made, and recoveries will continue to be made. I don't want to mention figures in terms of the amount, but it is huge.
Okay, so what about having a figure already out there in public space?
Yes.
It's about $6 million or so.
Well, the figures are the figures.
Okay.
What
my question.
So Naira Redesign,
Yes.
how significant is it in the fight against corruption?
Oh, it is very, 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 very significant. You know that there is an obligation of money laundering law that we have, in which an individual is expected to carry out a transaction that is above 5 million naira through the financial institution. There is also the threshold in which a corporate entity is expected to carry out transactions that is above 10 million in the financial sector. And why is it so? It is so because financial institutions are expected to be making currency transaction reports and suspicious transaction reports to relevant agencies. And with that, institutions like us will be able to monitor which funds are legitimate and which funds are not legitimate. And here we are now, in which 85% of our currency is out of water circulation. And people are carrying out transactions above the threshold as provided for by this provision over and above that we will not be able to monitor. We don't know what they are doing. These are the transactions that are creating and giving avenue, to other forms of crime that we are seeing in this country. Payment of ransom, banditry and all of that, payment of briberies to political actors, and the rest. So I didn't know whether I mentioned numbers, but if you want to cook up your numbers, you are entitled to your own opinion about that. Yes, Adamu, anything.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.